explain how I was going to pay for the next one. One was HubSpot in 2016, and the other was Supered in May. My name is Lica Wouters. I am the founder of Metrics. I love to help small companies grow. I've actually been a key player in helping companies grow that have gone on to be acquired by Amazon, Nestle, Sony. I am a HubSpot certified trainer, and one of the... So is Tracy, by the way. She didn't have time, running out of minutes. But I'm also one of the HubSpot ABM's bootcamp instructor, and I've been in the ecosystem for 8 years. I stood to lose all of this July 15th because I was about to downturn. Yeah. In 2023, the tech industry faced massive layoffs, and Signature and First Republic Bank collapsed, and I watched in horror as my clients not only churned, but went out of business. It was a very harrowing time. I had a team of 5, and I spent many a nights just wondering how I was going to make payroll. It was just absolutely terrible. With the market just becoming more risk-averse and budgets being slashed, I had a really difficult time. Thank you. On that one. I had a really difficult time selling to offset my churn. And then, when I didn't think it could get any worse, HubSpot changed their pricing model, which in essence was really good for my ICP, the smaller company, but it was terrible in trying to tier. I had to sell, $500 now was 2-3 seats. I knew that I was running my business with the check engine light on. It was time to make some very difficult decisions, and I got rid of my, that sounds really rough, but I got rid of my team. I had to let everybody go. It was heartbreaking, and I needed to change things super, super fast. It was at this point that Blake Lytle from Supered came into my life. It gets better. And I was assigned a new PDM, Justin Colbert. And they basically came to me and said, hey, why don't you offer some reduced onboarding? My ego resisted that completely because I've been in the ecosystem for way too long to lower my value. I did not want to be a low-cost, low-value onboarding outfit. But Blake said, you won't be low value because you'll have Supered. So I had to change things around, and I had to change things around fast. July 15th was just around the corner. So on June 13th this year, I reached out to all the growth specialists, and I said, hey, by June 13th, I have this special that's running, and I'm going to reduce my onboarding. On June 17th, the first shared deal hit my pipeline. Super cool. On June 20th, I had 78 points to hit gold. Then on June 25th at 9:34 a.m., I had 11 points for gold. And then that very same day, I actually tiered to gold. But it didn't stop there. The growth specialist kept on selling. I was going back and forth with my PDM in Slack, just making sure that he was working on his end and I wasn't selling out of my reach. But by June 28th, I had 178 points to tier to platinum, which I reached on June 30th. What should have been a moment of relief was absolute sheer panic. But it takes a village. They say it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to turn things around. I think, in hindsight, this was a boot camp in collab selling with HubSpot. And what Dharmesh said earlier this morning really resonated with me. I believe that AI can offset a lot of things, but it cannot offset human collaboration. So yeah, but again, back to the panic. I had 23 new clients to onboard immediately. No staff, no team, no infrastructure, just a huge, huge opportunity. And so I leaned into Supered, and I leaned into Supered hard. Here's what I did. The first thing that I did was I created a mirrored package. Now, mirrored is super speak, but it basically means that whatever I update in my package gets updated in all my clients' packages. It's a super time saver, yes, pun intended, but it allows me to just scale what I do. Because Blake had mentioned, like, hey, this is great lead gen, but this is not where the story ends. The story ends when you upsell and sell services. So that's been the goal. So I embed my HubSpot CTAs directly into the platform. As Yamini said earlier this morning, search is falling by the wayside, so this is just a good tool for me to get in front of the people that need my services. Super does become a bit of a distribution center at that point. Also, shout out to Commerce Hub, gets very little love. So what we can do with the actual install base that's mirrored, updates gives us a little bit more granularity as to what I want to show to specific accounts. So if someone has bought Sales Hub but hasn't bought Service Hub, you're gonna get updates on Service Hub. This is the one that's planned out to go for inbound. By having these updates, I can always be that trusted expert. When anybody has any type of questions on HubSpot, I want them to come to me. Back to onboarding. So I always did objective-based onboarding as opposed to just bringing it down, which made it very difficult to customize and be very specific as to the onboarding experience that I wanted to give somebody. I needed it to be rigid, but also flexible enough. And I wanted to make sure that I hit all my activation metrics. I created the Google Sheet, parsed everything out, and then after the kickoff call, I can select which of the tasks I'm gonna focus on, and then also cross-reference them as to see if they were part of the activation metrics. Through using Supered, I deploy a HubSpot onboarding dashboard. My goal is to have people live in the tool itself. In this dashboard, I have a running tally of all my meetings, transcribed, and any documentation that I create in the process. I feel it's really important that the client needs to have that documentation. I also have reports of user metrics. Are people really sending emails? Are they really logging their calls, crawling through the system? If they don't, then I can use process rules to enforce some of these habits and keep them on track. I'm very excited about this one, action plans, because I've been really heavily relying on tasks. I am super excited that we're about to launch action plans. I'm actually canceling my ClickUp because it's that cool. And it's gonna be a game changer, but it's coming. One of the things that I did end up building was cards and triggers for all these tasks that were required for onboarding. I created guides, maps, cards. It was a lot of work. I cannot lie, it was a lot of work. And I had a little help from a teammate. I ended up creating a Supered.io chat GPT. This helped me. It asks for, what is your goal? What do you need to do? What are the best practices that you want to convey? And then it does its thing, as AI does. So I'm very happy to announce that I'm going to be offering the public link to everyone, so you can go play with it. I have my computer, so we can go and demo that as well. And it's really early days for me. I'm on day 76 of onboarding, so I don't have fantastic metrics to show, but I do have really good signs in my portal. I took this screenshot at the time of the Supered 50K submission deadline. My median tool usage was 19, and the average customer dollar retention was 95%. This weekend, when I checked it again, the median tool usage was 21, and my average customer retention dollar has gone up. This is pretty much self-serving as well. People are interacting with my Supered content. I know in the beginning, thank you. I know in the beginning I said I didn't know if I was going to pay for Supered, but I'm going to be able to pay for Supered. The onboarding generated was surpassed my expectations. Plus, there was already a couple of deals in the pipeline for some pretty large accounts to do some integrations and super things. As everyone, I have freebies, including the link to the ChatGPT. I have my HubSpot onboarding task that you can use, the custom property Google worksheet, and a Miro board that you can use to help define the new sales workspace. So, thank you!
What up, everybody? I'm going to give a special thank you to the sponsors that made the 50K possible, this pitch possible. And that is BD Emerson and Forecastable. I say thank you for partnering with us to tell the stories of the HubSpot partners of them winning. Thank you. Stay awesome. Keep doing it big, everybody. Adios.